This is the ATI Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ATI Podcast.
Welcome.
What's happening, people out there? If you're live with us now or you see this video feed, we are doing the big ATI first annual fantasy football league this year. I know back in the day, Josh and I, some of our early bondings was watching NFL games.
Absolutely.
Watching Super Bowls together, having Super Bowl parties, stuff like that. Then we played Madden quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
As well, of course.
Yeah. I've kind of fallen off that, which is a shame. I wish I would have kept up with it, but
it's been a couple years for me too. They actually have the special John Madden edition out this year with him on the cover, actually.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be a pretty football-centric podcast overall. We just kind of want to get on a little ahead of the actual draft. The draft is going to commence here in about 27 minutes at 7 p.m. Central. If you're listening live, we're going to be drafting and sharing our screens and talking about what's going on.
Hell yeah.
But we just kind of wanted to open up things with kind of current events. And I don't think there's any bigger current event right now than the Sonic Boom in the Parkland.
Man.
At least around here.
Dude, I was convinced that somebody was shooting a gun outside my house.
Yeah.
Like, I immediately turned to my wife and I was like, did you hear that? And she's like, what was that? And I was like, dude, I don't know. It sounded like a gun.
Right.
And then I got on Facebook, and then, of course, you know, everybody's like, earthquake. And I'm like, dude, that probably was an earthquake because that was loud.
Yeah. One of those occasions, and we've had a lot of earthquake activity here, you know, recently and frequently in the area. We're not that far from the New Madrid fault line as well. So, you know, to immediately assume that it was an earthquake was probably decent. But the last time we had one, I think it was like in 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up because I felt the house rumbling.
Oh yeah, you actually felt
like
the
a
house
rumble.
shake.
Yeah, it was like a murmur. It was just brief, but you know, I wake up like that sometimes.
Yeah,
so
it's
not that
subtle
unusual.
things can get you.
But then when I did, I could hear what sounded like 2 train cars, and I live right next to a train track, as you hear in the episode sometimes. The trains, sometimes when they slam together or something, you know, like carts or whatever, it sounds like that.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wrote it off like that, and then lo and behold, I think a day or two later, it was reported that was, you know, an earthquake in the area. It was like a 2.9 or something, you know, low on the scale. But
yeah, that actually happened like right up where I live. It was close to like Murphy Settlement
Mineral
or something.
Point,
like
right? Or something?
Yeah, I think it said Murphy Settlement or something, but I think that's all like the same area, like Cadet, Mineral Point, you know, Leadwood, all that.
The earthquake type stuff was an easy assumption to make as well. And I did hear some people say that it could have been like a sonic boom. And I actually saw, you know, throughout my job, I get to go outside occasionally. So I saw a plane that looked to be an F-15 flying really close, you know, like literally over the town of Farmington throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't know that I've ever seen them, you know, that close.
Right.
It just seemed unusual. And you don't see a lot of F-15s in the area. Extremely routinely. You do see it some.
Every now and then, just because of where Boeing's at.
Altitude-wise, and I know that gets, you know, deceptive whenever you're looking up through a sphere in the sky. But, you know, altitude-wise, I'd have to say that it was at least twice as close at some points. Like I could actually, and I have terrible distant vision, I could see some details of the shit.
Yeah, well, you know, they were okay. Anyway, let's explain. So, come to find out, it was an F-15, like Barrett said, and it was on a test for. It was like somebody is purchasing it, which I would assume the U.S. government,
right? And
it was a pre-purchase test flight, which is very common with Boeing. Apparently, they were showing off what this thing could do, and they were testing it. But yeah, it says on the tracker, from what I've seen, that people were sharing online, that this thing was 48,000 feet in the air. Dude, that sonic boom was the loudest sonic boom I've ever heard in my life. And I remember when I was a kid, like Scott's Air Force Base used to do drills all the time on the skies down here. Yep. And I remember hearing them break the sound barrier, and it was not anywhere close as loud as what I heard the other day.
No, not at all. But I mean, obviously, you have to assume technology's gotten better over the years, and I'm sure it's a much more efficient vehicle, Skycraft. But
I mean, they said he was going
I've
Mach
never heard
1.
anything like that.
Mach 1. I mean, they're capable of pulling like way higher than that, aren't they?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me, but what do I know?
Yeah, a lot of people are speculating that it might be fishy because there's actually a law banning, I guess, planes.
Test flights.
But it's kind of a gray area thing because the U.S. government, it's a military aircraft. And I guess if the U.S. military is buying it, that they're allowed to, you make the rules, you get to break them, right? Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know. But a lot of people are speculating that this thing's seen something in the sky and chased it. And that they're just using the test pilot thing as an excuse.
Like it's a cover-up sort of thing.
If you do look at the flight pattern, it is really weird. But
yeah, I did see it. I thought it was very unusual.
Like why?
I mean, it's easy to say like snakish,
right?
But it kind of like wrapped around. I remember, and I was just like, "That's a weird flight pattern." But again, I'm not an air traffic controller,
right?
So
right. Me neither. I'm not an expert at all. Don't forget,
but I play one on TV.
Missouri is the pre-Roswell. If you think Roswell was the first alien crash, it was not. Check out the Cape Girardeau crash that happened before Roswell, and it happened right here in Missouri, real close in southeast Missouri.
Give some details if folks are vague, at least bullet points.
The Cape Girardeau crash was, I think, the person that gave the testimony was, I think, a preacher or a reverend, and he was called up by the police to come read last rites to two victims of a crash. And he states that when he got to the crash, that it was actually an alien craft, and there was bodies, and he performed last rites on the bodies, and that the local mortuary brought wooden coffins for the bodies, and that they were shipped off in military trucks.
Well, he's a preacher, so he didn't lie.
All right. Good old Southeast Missouri preacher, buddy. He's sending for no aliens.
No, man. And so obviously, that leads to some of the speculation, as Josh said, to get back to that in the area as far as what that noise was. Yeah, I was cooking dinner. I thought it was an earthquake. I was like, what was that? And Pam's like, it's probably an earthquake. It sounds just like it did the last time. And I went outside, looked around, like nobody else was outside. I'm like, did we just, I don't know, as a family have some moment?
Do we all experience something?
Yeah. But, I don't know, shit like that just doesn't, I don't know, just kind of uneasy with the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, that's not something you experience often.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of rattling, especially, the state of, domestic affairs and foreign affairs. Right now, and things that are going on, and
tensions with Russia, and
more specifically
China
as well. So like you kind of live in constant fear of the 24-hour news cycle, right? And that's a good transition into talking about our boy who can't stay out of the news cycle, and the
media
DJ,
just eats it up.
DJ Donald Trump is once again, this saga continues. Donald Trump is now, in his framing of the Mar-a-Lago things, trying to claim executive privilege initially, okay? This is kind of where this started.
But Obama took 30 million documents with him, too, when he left. That's only fair. Come on now. I'd like to see.
Anywho, these are classified documents.
Yes.
And executive privilege is, A, for a sitting president, and B, is... executive privilege is executive privilege. That means executives can look at it. People in the executive branch, more specifically.
Right.
And when the FBI is a part of the executive branch,
part of the DOJ,
as that acting body, it's you can't call crime on crime. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Per se. It's just unbelievable that these framings, these arguments that they try to have, to make it sound like they're in the right, and they being the Trump and his camp, they continue to just try and, it seems like literally, I keep making this comparison, but it's a gorilla shitting in its hand in the zoo, in the cage, and flinging it to the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yep.
That's all this is. It's just gorilla shit slinging constantly.
Yeah.
The analogy that is a common used in these conflicts of politics and talks is moving the goalposts. That's a whole strategy that people do whenever you try to have these conversations with people.
Right.
And, I guess that would be the next closest analogy, but that's not exactly what this is. Like, it's just a stupid statement that's just wrong. You know, the executive branch is the executive branch.
Right.
So he doesn't, you know, that argument's off the one to know. Then at some point, Trump's attorneys say that the documents that they claim to have picked up out of Mar-a-Lago weren't ever there. Meanwhile, Trump goes and doubles talks, posts this information and says that, no, that's not right because they had those documents spread out. Actually, those documents were inside my desk next to my passport.
Right. So you have an attorney saying one thing,
right.
and then you have the defendant saying something completely different.
Absolutely. So we got Brando logging in now, Tom Tickle, aka Nodnarb, and
Tickle in the Pickle,
Mr. Abort the Court as well. So he's joining us on video now. Tom Tickle, thank you. We're live and in charge. You can do your thing. Hop in when you want. We're just riffing on some current events, and actually, you're
just in time for this.
Just in time. We just started talking about Trump and the latest developments with him, and you know, first saying that.
Oh, what's going on with that guy? Does he have any kind of legal battle?
Just a little one.
Sweetheart.
Just a little one.
But of course, Trump is trying to claim executive privilege that doesn't apply to whenever the executive branch is acting on you.
Right.
Because you're all executives. You're all part of the executive branch.
Right.
No, but I'm a president.
Right.
I'm a president. I'm still the president.
That, of course, entitles you to break the law. For sure.
Well, yeah. Fucking Nixon did.
Great.
He's a great man.
Great example.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
Roger Stone. Go all the way, even if you have to run over people's rights for it. Woo!
Advancing along in this, so, you know, Trump contradicts his own people, too, as well. We were talking as soon as you were getting on. So the photo went up of all the documents spread across the floor. And, you know, the Trump camp was like, oh, things weren't like that. You know, that's a staged photo, yada, yada. And so Trump.
What would it matter?
Right.
Yeah, right. So his attorneys took the position that the documents were never there, essentially. And then Trump, this dumb motherfucker says, I guess he didn't even hear what his attorneys said about it. So this dumb bastard says, that photo's so fake. Those documents were next to my passports in my desk.
I would never keep top secret documents on the floor. I keep them in my desk.
I think they actually found them on his desk, but he had so many papers strung out across the desk, they moved him to the floor. Because my understanding is, at least in what some of the pundits I heard this morning discussing it, was that they actually weren't necessarily looking specifically where they ended up finding those documents in particular. And I think these documents in particular, the ones that Trump alluded to anyways, is in part of the seizure, was documents based on Macron's sex life.
Which, by the way, I want to know all about.
Apparently,
that.
it's interesting enough to have a I mean,
to have a whole briefing
file on it.
I want to be included.
So
in it.
now I'm totally intrigued.
I've already talked to Liz. She's down.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You're going to find out in these documents that Liz has been down for Macron. Surprise, Macron's the dad of your child. He's the father.
Good with it. I'm good with it. No ties. Anyways, what was I going to say? No, so the thing that they're hung up on is how were they found?
Yeah, essentially. But
they're hung up on anything.
Trump's attorneys initially were making the comment that they weren't there.
But the documents never were there in the first place.
Alluding to the fact that they were staged or planned in.
But Trump fucked up
Trump
and said,
turned around and
yeah, they were in my desk.
Yeah, they were in my desk next to my passports.
They're not on my fucking floor?
In his desk next to his passports. Is what I think the argument was. So he had...
What a fucking cunt.
Literally what they're trying to charge him with, he's just like verifying even further. His passports, that important identification document of yourself, was physically next to Macron's sex life file. That doesn't scream man. Hey, I'm going to take a flight and I'm going to exploit this motherfucker.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's using U.S. intelligence to do so.
Yeah, and this is a power. You know what I mean? You're talking about Macron, the French president, right?
Right.
I mean, you're talking about with an ally. You're fucking with
one of the biggest U.S. allies.
Intelligence on one of the biggest U.S. allies, and one of the European Union's biggest allies, and NATO's biggest allies.
Right. Anywho, just the absurdity continues with him.
my favorite thing that's been going on, and you guys probably already talked about it, is Don Jr.
We didn't actually, so
No, we haven't.
That boy is a
Cocaine cowboy, baby.
no
Fucking-
question.
Oh
No
my
question.
god! Oh, that guy, his fucking feelings, man. He's got to talk to Kim Guilfoyle about those feelings.
Yeah, she's definitely the right person.
And I'm pretty sure
Oh, she's definitely not gonna suck your soul
Yeah.
out or fucking destroy your dreams and hopes. She's like the aftermath of whenever in Indiana Jones, whenever it like sucks all the life from you. She's the aftermath
sure.
living creature.
Yeah.
She's just got dentures in and fucking new eyeballs that they took from a 3-year-old baby.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about her a few episodes back because a lot of folks, don't realize that she was actually married to Gavin Newsom previously.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not been a relationship for some time. But that's why there was so much, people didn't realize why is Gavin Newsom being talked to about by the Trump family and vice versa.
Oh, everybody fucking talks about him.
You see the linking chain, though, about, with that transaction specifically. But, another...
I'm going after my ex-husband.
Right. If that doesn't come off super fucking petty,
Another bitch who used to be on the 5.
Oh, yeah. Yep, absolutely. Other big news in I don't want to say necessarily the Trump camp, but certainly a supporter at one time and somebody that was a vice presidential hopeful themselves, Sarah Palin lost
I'm
her
so fucking
special
glad she
election
lost.
and lost it to a Native American indigenous person of Alaska.
Good.
So,
Where do they stick
and
to their
the
own
very
country?
first, yeah, right, and the first ever in the state of Alaska, which seems
Which is
wild to
bonkers
me.
because like
Bizarre.
Yeah,
a
extremely bizarre.
large portion of their population are natives.
Yeah,
Like an extremely large portion of their population.
it's crazy. Well, I mean,
But
white imperialism for you,
right. Who's
Right?
voting? You know what I mean?
But that's crazy. But I also saw there was multi-millions of voter changes, higher voter enlistments, specifically
They're
women.
moving from Mexico.
So women
Yeah.
are definitely coming out on the Dobbs case, Roe v. Wade.
Oh, look
overturned,
at Kansas.
you know.
Kansas voters overwhelmingly tried to give the Roe v. Wade
Right,
thing a
right.
dirt nap immediately.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
Kansas turned out for that, which fortunately,
I mean, it's Kansas, dude. Like, that's fucking wild.
at
that
least
that
it,
happened.
came to ballots. Like they could actually vote on it. We
Well, at
didn't
least
get
they
an
left it
option
up to
here.
their people. Right, exactly. Our governor's a fucking schmuck.
And I know Texas didn't either.
He's a fucking schmuck, too. Go Beto.
Oh, I just saw Mr. Abbott on the TVs, and he was like, "Listen, about my legs. Yes, I did sell my soul and my legs to be able to have this opportunity with you. Also, my wife just sucks on one toe all day, all night, and I have sex with several boys.
Yep. And the Boy
Thank you.
Scouts.
Vote for me."
Absolutely.
I heard he was the reason why you guys were having such an energy crisis because he keeps using all the power to charge that new electric Tesla wheelchair he bought.
Yeah, old Elon hooked him up on that one
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm sure he did.
No question. And fuck that guy too while we're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forever.
He had a chance to be an impacting good human being.
Right.
They all have chances, Josh, but then they always pick the dark
And
side.
of course,
man.
he's a bootstraps guy. He did everything himself. He had no help.
I'm up your bootstraps, even though I had $1 million and Donald Trump and I talked shit about him, but I did the same fucking thing. And my dad has sex with my sister.
And you don't
sure you're
believe
not
it? Look
talking
it up,
about-
folks.
Sure, you're not talking about Ben Shapiro's family. I think you might be getting them mixed up there.
Let's not get on a topic about
know,
Ben
man.
Shapiro's sister. I'll be missing this draft. You know what I'm
Milkmaid.
saying?
My God, that is an unhealthy. That woman, I feel.
That's literally the only thing you can say about the situation.
I feel so bad for her because literally she has Ben Shapiro as a brother.
And she constantly has to worry about
She has
him
the
trying to
biggest
fuck
boobs
her.
on the planet. She probably has to have like in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where it's the metal brace
Mhm.
to hold her straight up.
Yeah.
Like, my God, man,
Mm.
we're gonna have to have the fucking the Golden Gate Bridge suspension system hold those.
Speaking of braces, I have to make a correction on the last show that we were all together on. we kept referring to a person called Crutches. His name was actually Stilts. So,
Stilts.
yeah, Stilts.
Oh, yeah, Stilts.
Did he let you know?
Yeah.
Did he come out?
Oh no, I immediately remembered it once I listened back. I was like, oh shit, that was not the right nickname
Not
that we had
Crutches,
for
it
that
was
guy.
Stilts.
So anybody who knows Stilts.
I think we came to that decision because of the fact that, yes, he does have, crutches, and we thought it would be funny with Stilts, but he also does resemble Rumpelstiltskin, which is a terrifying,
A methed
horrible
out
monster.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, this man had no redeemable qualities. We literally watched his hand go through the ceiling tiles, grab Barrett's CDs, and pull back up.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck?
And I went over to their fucking apartment and cop knocked and told him that he was going to open the door. I was going to break it down. He just opened the door, like, just stuck the CD sleeves out the door to me. And I was like, he goes, I was just going to borrow them. I said, borrow them, fuck you. I was like, fuck you. I was like, you're lucky I don't fucking push your teeth down. A few times have I ever get physical with people in my life, and I'm not claiming to be any badass. Probably anybody could whip my ass, but, I just got in a blind rage and made some decisions that I was going to attack somebody.
Yeah,
I mean, CDs were one of the few. I mean, Brandon, we were like 19. Like, what possessions did we have?
Right. Right. That was gold.
Well, and the whole thing is that me and Barrett have been friends this long because we've always loved harming the handicapped.
Yes.
In any way, shape, or form that we
Yes.
can. And if you see the one stealing something as well, it's a great day in the fucking Stuart Lewis household.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
Before we get started with the draft, which is just about 5 minutes now, from now, I did want to announce our winners for our drawing on the merch. So John Bowers came in first place. He's going to be getting the trucker hat combo.
Hey, John.
So,
congratulations, John.
Yeah, John. There's a nice young lady out there called Marion Beal, and she came in second place. So we're actually waiting on a reply back.
I thought you were going to say...
Sent you a DM on Instagram, Marion, so you can check that out.
Like like one of those...
No dick pics. We're all married.
Never mind.
I see you measuring with your hands. That's where
no
this is
dick
going.
pics. No,
we're all married men.
No. All I was saying is, I wish you would have been like, thank you, Adriana 467274. Those obviously fake fucking accounts.
Right.
Yeah, like Adriana, who the fuck is this bitch?
Well, speaking of which, if like we can't get a hold of these people, obviously we'll pick somebody else and let you guys know.
We're gonna have to go on down the line. Marion Bell was in second place, and then third place is old Doug Wicker, former guest of the show.
Yay.
Oh!
Dougie coming in third place.
In no way did he do like advertisements for us or anything.
No,
That's the reason
and
why. I'm telling you, it's stolen
he
election.
in no way is under the table right
Stolen.
now performing fellatio.
Get back down there.
So
I knew it, man. I knew it. He's making that next new movie.
Next to
which
Nectar.
is, a porn. He was going to do a
Him
romantic
and
comedy,
Eli
but he was
Roth are
gonna-
doing a romantic comedy set in a porn studio.
Oh,
co-directing.
my God.
Right?
I see it.
So we got about 3 more minutes until the draft starts, and we do have an open invite, I should mention, so Brandon may not be our only guest on the show. I want to mention that we are sharing our screen here and the display today of our draft that we have going on. What you got there, Brandon?
Oh, baby.
Hell yeah, son.
Hell yeah. I know. I totally got myself a really sweet little Benner t-shirt that they had at Walmart on sale for $13. I thought that was a steal. I'll never forget, Brandon. You pulled that jersey up. I'll never forget the night we won the Stanley Cup, and his wife is on Twitter asking people where her husband is because he's been missing for hours. He was blackout drunk, just hopping around St. Louis on Stanley Cup night.
I got this jersey for my dad, and he signed it. The only thing I don't like is this front piece, but my other one got packed away. We're moving here in about 2 weeks.
Really? It's coming up that fast, huh?
Yeah, man, 2 weeks. We're
That's
out of
crazy,
here.
bro.
Out of this bitch.
Dude.
Draft starts in
49 seconds.
49 seconds. And you know what's funny? I'm sitting here looking at the draft order. I've been playing fantasy football with my friend Mark that's in this league with us, at Walmart for like forever. And this dude literally gets first pick in every single league I've ever been in with him.
He doesn't today.
Every
Your
league.
mom's tight end is our number one.
Yeah, that's him.
No, Mark is Riley Reed option.
Oh, wait.
Is
No.
that not Zach?
Oh, maybe he stole it or something.
Memphis Mad Dogs is Jake Jackson. He's got the second pick.
Trump train. God.
That's your boy.
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Trump.
Your Trump train is ended, man. It's going straight into fucking jail.
That thing derailed
Yeah.
a long time ago, brother.
Oh, yeah.
All right, on the clock.
Jonathan
All right, shit.
Taylor.
Damn.
Went off
Immediately.
Somebody knew what they were doing.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
That was Jefferson. Trump trains up. Justin Jefferson. Bold pick, Jake. Yeah, Justin Jefferson with the second overall pick.
Wow.
He's a decent wide receiver.
Where am I at in the line, guys?
It says it right there at the top on your deal. Right now, Trump train's voting. He's on the clock. He just voted Christian McCaffrey. Jalen Hurts just got voted.
God
You're
damn
up
it.
now.
You know I'm sticking on that Jalen.
You got
Hurts,
Cooper
boys.
Kupp. That's a good pick, dude. That's
Yeah.
a solid pick. Here comes Mark. Boy, everybody's moving fast. You got Derrick Henry. That's an excellent pick. Ridge is on the clock.
Team is now on the clock.
Oh, Ridge picked Eckler. I don't know if he's on auto draft or not. I, boys, am going to go with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
It's my pick, boys.
Man, there's still some. Oh, are you on the
Those
clock?
Bearcats.
Yeah, it's Barrett.
Yeah, dude, I don't know why it's not picking him.
Oh, no,
he's
you're
on
up
the list.
again, I guess?
Oh, I guess I am. Oh, I forgot this is fucking snake order.
draft?
Yeah, so it backs back up. Shit. No. I did not mean to pick Jack Prescott. I panicked. I just picked another quarterback. Oh, I already fucked it up. Yeah, I wanted Chase. Fuck you, brown sugar. Oh, man. That's shitty. All right. Well, I got a backup at least.
Okay, so where am I
You're
doing? here?
on now. You make your pick, ball. What do you
Yeah.
got already?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. No, but what I'm asking is, oh, here. Now I see it. Never mind.
Looking for a running back, huh?
No, I already got one. I just forget his fucking name.
I got too much shit running. Things ain't been kind to me right now. This is like the first year that I haven't voted for Aaron Rodgers.
I
Number
think-
one overall pick.
I think you might be surprised this year, though, with that. With the season that he has this year.
I don't know if he keeps doing ayahuasca. Supposedly that's what he attributes to winning his MVPs together.
Hey, he's unlocking his mind, bro.
Joe Mixon, that's not a bad pick, dude. I like Joe Mixon. Josh, you're on the clock, baby.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Damn.
I mean, I don't think Cincinnati's going to be as good as they were last year, but
I'm going to take Kamara.
I'm hoping they are.
Yeah, they've had a long, hard road.
Yeah, I was rooting for him, man. Fuck the Rams too, by the way. You know, Stan Kroenke, I think we've probably elaborated on him a few times on here, so fuck that guy. Took the Rams out of St. Louis,
You know
just over a couple $100 million difference in the proposal.
Right.
I like Kroenke as much as I like Trump.
Yeah, cut from the same cloth. Two
I would
entitled
do-
white stupid fucks.
I was so salty about fucking Avalanche winning the cup, too, man. That was such shit.
Stephon Diggs, good
You know
pick.
the one thing, I always go against my buddy every year since I've like for the past 5
Ooh,
years,
Devontae.
who's a huge Avalanche fan, because every single time that we've gone to a game together, he's gotten destroyed.
Somebody got dealt one.
But they deserve it. They deserve it. They go every fucking year, just like us.
Yeah, they clearly got talent, and obviously, you know, we're a little sour against them because of how things transpired. But you know, hockey, I think in this area, it's pretty safe to say it's Blues or nothing. You know, if you're into hockey, you like the Blues, and
Yeah.
and if you're not, you don't really like any other team. I mean, I would.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even give a fuck about any other hockey team, quite frankly, myself.
Oh, fuck no. Especially not the
But
Black
it's odd
Hawks.
because I
Right,
don't
like,
know if
there's
it's just
teams I
because
hope
I don't
that-
like hockey maybe as much as some of the other sports. But I will say hockey's the
That's
best.
the only sport I really watch anymore.
It's the best live event I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Hockey
it
is more difficult to watch on TV, I think.
It is
um,
really nice live, though.
I just love dude, whenever I was in paralegal school 2 years ago, we all were just fucking watching the playoffs, having a blast. I love hockey. I don't get to watch baseball as much because I'm down here, but let me mention, even more so hated now for me than Chicago, because Chicago's
Right,
garbage.
fuck
Right.
I fucking hate the Stars. I fucking hate the Stars.
Yeah, they do suck.
And I'm closest to them.
I forgot about them too. We had a bad blood with them for a while, especially late 90s, early 2000s. There was a lot of Blues and Stars head to heads. I think
Can you look up people?
yes, you
on
Yes.
can. There's a search
Yeah.
bar. I don't really fuck with it on my phone. I usually do it from the desktop, but
Somebody already pick up Eckler?
Somebody already took Kelsey from me. That's who I was going to take, and then somebody fucking gobbled that up.
Yeah, Kelsey always goes pretty high in the draft, but that's a strategy I've never understood. I understand he's the best tight end, but for him to go in the first 2 rounds to me just seems crazy. Only because you have to look at the overall end of year stats as far as points are accumulated, and tight ends don't typically break hardly even 200 in most cases.
Right. Well,
overall
Kelsey's kind
points.
of, though.
Kelsey,
He's more of a receiver.
He is, but he doesn't. You put him up against receivers, he doesn't have as many receiving yards, receptions.
Right.
Even. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's good. He's a good like fantasy. He's like a slot 2 receiver, stats wise. But yeah, it's just I think like running backs, quarterbacks is always the route to go.
Right.
All right, so I am up, and I am hoping for Saquon Barkley to have a bounce back year. So I'm voting for him.
Where'd the Bearcats come from, buddy?
I've just always liked it as a team name. And if I always, anytime I made teams on, let's say Madden or whatever the case is, it's been one of the names that I've used for a team. So it's kind of a little personal touch.
Mine used to be El Chupacabres.
Yeah, El Chupacabres.
That's what I used to rock back in the day.
I like that. They sound nice.
All right.
They sound fun.
I think I am going to take a shot on A.J. Brown in Philadelphia's first year.
There you go.
For my wide receivers. So feeling pretty decent about that pick.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just need...
Trying to open up the draft board in another window to see who's picked what so I can give an update.
I know, that's what I'm trying to keep up with.
Hey, so I know all the other ones. Like I said, I used to pay close attention to football, play in fantasy leagues. What's the W/R?
Wide receiver or returner. Or it's like a flex.
Yeah.
You can put in another wide receiver there, but you can also put in like
it's like a flex slot.
Yeah.
A running back.
Exactly right. Yep.
Okay.
That's a kind of a bench player to get you some extra points. So like whenever I first started playing fantasy, that wasn't even an option, but over the years they've taken feedback and stuff because there is so many, game breaker type players that, can fill that role. And so that was a part of I think it makes it a little bit more competitive. It's cool. So let me give an update. Your mom's tight end was our number 1 pick. With Jonathan Taylor out of Indianapolis. Great running back. I had him his rookie season, so it was his breakout season, and he produced a lot of points for me, so that's a good, solid pick. Justin Jefferson, Memphis Mad Dogs. I believe that's Baby Jake Jackson, our pro wrestling cat that is on here very routinely. So Justin Jefferson's one of the best wide receivers in the league and definitely top 5 worthy, specifically wide receiver. Trump Train went Christian McCaffrey. There's a lot of speculation around Christian McCaffrey not going to be a producer this year because Trump Train picked him up. And then Jalen Hurts was picked by Josh. And so, Josh, you got 6 seconds. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you got 6 seconds, Brandon.
No, that was me. Yeah, no.
All right, Keenan Allen, that's a solid pick.
Yeah, I did.
That's good for a 4th round.
Want to, but what happened though is I headed on running backs and was looking somebody up, and I wanted a wide receiver, and I have 2 screens going on right now.
Yeah. It's a little overwhelming when there's a time crunch. It'd be different if you just kind of at your own leisure. But so going on down the draft order here, Cooper Kupp was chosen by Brandon, and I think that might be the best wide receiver pickup. And we got Derrick Henry was picked up by Riley Reid Option, which is Mark. Great name, by the way, Mark. Mark, you get the gold star for best team name this year. Riley Reid Option. If you know, you know. You're a real one.
Oh, I know all about Miss Riley Reid.
And
trust me.
Yeah, that's somebody's daughter. Derrick Henry. Again, Riley Reid Option. That's a good, solid pick. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. He had the injury last year. I think he missed no less than 4 games, maybe as many as 6, which is crazy that he came back that quickly from the knee injury. Eckler, which is the running back for LA. That's a good pick for Ridge. That's a good, solid pick. He'll be, I think that's good for at least 250 points plus for the season. Josh Allen, chosen by me, which was an intentional first pick for me. And then I forgot that we were in snake order, and I accidentally clicked on Dak Prescott as my backup, which it could be worse. And if anybody wants to make a trade deal, he's on the trading block. But otherwise, I'll just keep him as a solid backup. And then we're into the 2nd round. Jamar Chase, Justin Herbert, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, some of the usual suspects. Darwin Cook, we get in a run. Stephon Diggs, another good wide receiver. Devontae Adams, I'm surprised he went as low as he did. 16th overall pick. I would have almost pegged him for at least a top 10 pick, certainly top 12. Deebo Samuel just got the big extension. Kelsey went before him, actually, which now I can see why Kelsey came off as early your mom's tight end, which we believe might be Zach if you're out there.
Your mom's
sorry.
tight end is Mark. Riley read option is Zach. We got it mixed up.
Okay, the Riley Reed option picture looks like...
it is
Zach.
Mark. It's a picture of Mark on somebody else's body.
Oh, I got you.
Zach's just being funny.
I see. Okay, we have confirmation. So, Zach, you win on the names. Let's make a clarification. So, Mark, I see why you picked up Kelsey because of what your previous picks were, now that we've been kind of going through this. Deebo Samuel, crazy. Running back, wide receiver, returner. He wants to do it all. Just got the big contract extension that he was holding out for. I am jealous, Trump train, of Najee Harris. And if you're not happy with whatever quarterback you shake out with, I'll be happy to put Dak Prescott on the training block for him because Najee is my boy. My first team's the Green Bay Packers, but not far behind that is the Steelers. So I'm really into Najee. We got Mike Evans coming off the board. I'm wondering what kind of season he's going to have. That's Josh's pick. They've got perhaps the greatest wide receiver of the last 10 years down there in Tampa also, Julio
Right.
Jones.
Yeah, but to say that, is the coverage going to be there where Evans can get open? You know what I'm saying? Because
I think Evans is the one option, so he's going to be double covered probably.
Right. Yeah, so that's going to make it harder. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
I got to double cover my butthole after that Trump train.
Oh, it's my pick.
Josh is on the pick, but Trump train just took T. Higgins.
Damn it.
That's a good player. Wide receiver out of Cincinnati, number 2 receiver.
When's his
there.
bye? Fuck, I'll take him. I'll take Cooks.
Okay. Yeah, Cooks is their one wide receiver. I think, is Mark live with us?
He's chatting in the NFL app.
Okay, so he's live with us. Cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
Trump train says best pick ever. No one could have made a better pick. It was a huge pick.
Solid response.
Hey, Trump train, are you gonna fuck your daughter after this?
Oh my god. I love it.
Please say fake news.
You're messing with new boys now.
Just please say fake news back to that because you just guys keep the character going. Fake news. It's all fake.
Fake news. Fake news.
All right, Devonta Smith. That's all right, but he's second fiddle to me, Mark. Or I guess no. Excuse me. That's Zach.
He's second to fiddle you?
Second fiddle to my wide receiver I picked up, AJ.
Second fiddle to fiddle you?
I wish he would fiddle me. I wish somebody would fucking fiddle me.
God damn, man. God damn.
I'm 6 picks away.
Right.
Damn. I'm not even going to look at it.
I feel bad that I picked Raider, but fucking.
I know. There's nothing wrong with the Raiders, dude.
Dude, there are some
That's a good
really
guess.
awesome quarterbacks still out there.
There's some trashy. Hey, after being with
There's tons of trashy Raider fans.
being in Denver
Yeah.
for so long, there's so
Oh, I
many
know.
trashy.
They're rough. All right, I'm up. Kyle Pitts just got picked up. That's a good tight end pick. Very athletic. I've got me a wide receiver. Let's see who we got. Wide receiver field. To get everybody caught up, we are now on Kyler Murray. Murray just got picked up. That's a good pick. Trump train's on the clock. See what Trump goes with. Trump hole.
Me?
Oh, okay. Allen Robinson. Okay. He's probably going to have a good year. He's with the Rams this year. Now Josh is on the board. And then Brandon's next. And then we got Zach, Ridge, and then me with 2 picks again. This draft's moving quick, guys.
Yeah, it's actually going a lot faster.
This is the fastest draft I've ever been in. So, I think everybody's
Did
really
the
on
research.
really on it. I don't think anybody's on auto draft. It's the first time that well, you can set it to auto draft. So let me back that up. Maybe somebody is, and that's why they're coming off as quickly as they are.
I think Ridge actually is on auto draft, and he was trying to figure out how to get out of it. He said, I'm trying to turn off the auto draft, but it keeps doing it anyways. It's because I jumped in late. I'm not 100% sure on NFL, to be honest with you.
Well, he's getting good picks. There's a little auto draft button up at the top next to your fantasy toolbar that you can click and unclick. That's going to go on whatever ranking that you have.
I got you.
So you don't really need that. You should be able to unclick it up there, Ridge, is my point. It's the short of the point. So I've read some people reserved on Sanders, and he's questionable. I'm looking to pick up another back myself, and I think that I will go with I'll go with Josh Jacobs because he's the main back there in Vegas, and I've had him previously, and he did well for me. So,
Hell yeah.
I always try to stay, as silly as it might be, kind of loyal with some of my people that I pick up. I think Brandon dropped off the call.
Oh,
calls
did he?
back in, no problem. Yeah, he's back. Here you go.
See if that fixed it.
Brandon's going to be back in on the live feed here momentarily.
Okay.
Yeah,
There
he's
we
back.
go.
Business.
Yeah, I backed out because I was like, fuck that shit. I'm tired of it. I had to pick the defense. I don't know how much. Some leagues, it's really defense.
It is
good.
very
Some-
important in ours, actually. So that's a strong move right there. I'm surprised I got Kittle. I'm surprised he wasn't already off the board because he's, by all accounts, usually number 2 tight end in, again, over the last 10 years. So let's talk about San Francisco 49ers. I think Trey Lance's first full season as a starter they're going into, so there won't be any Jimmy Garoppolo. They still haven't done anything with Jimmy Garoppolo, so we're not sure where it's going with him. He might get traded.
Oh, you're on the clock.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I forgot I got that double pick. That always throws me off. I'm not accustomed to that. But yeah, I got my defense. I picked up the Packers, just to be clear what just went down. And by all accounts will be a good defense, a lot of returning people. But yeah, George Kittle, back to that, and Trey Lance in San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo is still on their team, though, and he's rode the pine most of last year, I think. But some of that was injury, and then some of it was voluntarily benching him, that sort of thing. Amari Cooper, as far as on my team and my picks, I'm going to elaborate if you're looking at our screen now. I picked up Amari Cooper also earlier. We didn't talk much about him. He's in Cleveland this year. He got traded from the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm excited for that.
They're trying to get value out of him, but they got Deshaun Watson as their quarterback in Cleveland, and we've already talked about Deshaun Watson as civil cases that he has going on, and I think all but one now is settled since we last talked about it. I could be wrong. Let me do a quick search. Yeah, so Deshaun Watson is, of course, famous for his, going to massage parlors and putting his dick in people's hands and jerking off, and allegedly, again, let me be clear.
Yeah,
allegedly,
these are all
that's the case.
allegations.
And it's in the 20s as far as total persons. I think it's like 26, maybe. I know it's at least 24. He was declined of all criminal charges. And so now a lot of the victims move forward with civil cases. There's speculation there's as many as 60-something, I heard, in one account as well. Yeah. Essentially what happened was, to get that information, let me be clear as well, news sites basically started doing like geo-mapping on Instagram of massage businesses close to where his residence was, Deshaun's. And they just start calling people and asked if Deshaun Watson had propositioned them. Yeah, so they got an account of 68 different people that said yes.
Christ.
So that's where that number came from. So that's even more wild that's what they did to get to that number. Yeah, okay, so 23 of his 24 are settled, so every single one except for one. And the one person that's holding out is, last I heard, it's very likely that one's going to actually go to court. So yeah, he settled 3 of the last remaining 4 as of August 1st, so that's exactly a month ago. Yeah, so Deshaun Watson, sexual delinquent, I think, fair to say, at the very least.
That's fair analysis.
Some might say that about me too.
Aren't we?
Aren't we all? Aren't we all victims of abuse?
Hey, so just so everybody's aware, on the fantasy footballers, they have a lot of fucking people from Buffalo either at number 1 or in the top 5.
Right.
I'm like, God damn, man.
How well they did the last few seasons, and Josh Allen just keeps getting better and better. And a lot of people speculating an MVP career for him year. So Josh is on the clock now. Then it's Brandon. Zach is up next. Brown Sugar, our man Ridge. And then I get the snake pick, so I get the last pick of this round and the first pick of 10. Was that Julio Jones that just came off the board, I believe?
Sanders.
Good pick. Oh, are you sure?
Yeah, that's who I just took.
I was talking about.
Oh
no, Julio Jones picked him. Yeah.
Riley Reid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where that goes. He's good, but I don't know if I forget where Mike Godwin's at. If he's still a free agent or they re-signed him.
Well, we're starting to get onto the shitty players realm. Right.
Yeah, we were talking about Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah,
he's one of the big guys that's coming in with speculation. The other this year that a lot of people are concerned about, Alvin Kamara. He beat down some people in a club, and the situation's been compared similar to that of Ray Rice incident that happened a few years ago.
Right.
I've not seen the footage. I don't think it's public. And so there's a lot of speculation with, what actually happened. And apparently people in the league have seen it. They have not announced what his suspension is going to be yet, but there's a lot of talk about 6 games suspensions.
You're up, buddy.
I know.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, you got a minute left. I'm just making sure.
A lot of Hunter Renfrow. I might give that a shot.
Wait a
that
second.
is Las Vegas.
One of the picks is Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Hey,
Train.
he's gotten away from
Guaranteed.
prison this long.
You better get him,
Might
Trump
as
Train.
well. Oh, Hillary
Stack it
Clinton's emails.
Yeah. Hey man,
Projected 300 overall.
what's another felony?
Oh, I love how everybody says that, and none of us like any one of these fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I hate fucking Hillary Clinton. I hope she dies a horrible death.
Yeah,
I truly do. So any Trump train, if you're ever arguing with somebody about Hillary deserves to be in prison,
we hate
just
her.
know that I don't fucking give a rat's ass.
Amen.
All right,
I'm going to go with Harris. I never usually pick Patriots at all, but I'm going with Harris, running back.
I mean, it's hard not to.
I mean, they're successful. I mean, how are they not the most successful sports franchise in the last 20 years? They are. It's not even a close second.
Yeah, and nobody can say anymore. Oh, let's look at Tom Brady. Well, like, shut up, man. Nobody fucking cares. He's gonna find his
Belichick.
fucking quarterback.
Yeah. And they have, by all accounts. Belichick, they made it to the AFC Championship last year. With Mac Jones.
I don't know the past 2 years. So
Yeah, Mac Jones, they drafted him in the last 2 years. Last year was his sophomore season, I believe. Is that right, Josh? Or was it
What was it? Sorry.
Mac Jones, Patriots. Yeah. He did very well, by all accounts, and he's definitely their quarterback of the future. It might have been his rookie season last year, now that I think about it.
Sorry, I was sitting here.
Yeah, it was his rookie season last year. So this is Mac Jones' stats. This is a rookie. 67.6 completion percentage. That's pretty stout, man.
Yeah, for your rookie season.
For a rookie season, yeah, like that's very efficient. And then he's 3,800 yards.
Wow.
3,801. Yeah, 22 TDs, 13 interceptions. Those interceptions could go down a little bit, but that is a strong rookie
Passer
campaign.
rating of a 92.
92.5, yeah.
That's not bad.
So that's pretty good. And he looks kind of like a big old boy on TV, but he's only 6'3", and that's an inch and a half taller than I am. But, whenever you look at the NFL, you don't realize how big those players are comparatively because they're also, large themselves. But 6'3", I would have thought he's taller than that. What's up?
What's the Q under people's names for?
Questionable.
That just means so it's going to have the latest...
because of like their injuries and shit.
Exactly
like
right.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's going to show up if they've been
sure.
on any injury report for anything. So
yeah, I used to use CBS or
CBS does one.
Yeah,
Did.
I used to use them, but
Nodnarb the unpleasant. That's Brandon. He's on
I
the
feel
clock.
stupid for saying this.
We're in the late rounds now, guys.
Yep.
We're in 11, about to hit 12. So
I feel stupid for doing that, but I'm picking my backup, and it's got to be Russell Wilson.
Oh no, dude, that's probably a good pick. I think he's going to have a good year this year. Not that he had a bad one last year, but new environment, got the extension. Yeah. The Broncos had a lot of good players, and really it was just inconsistency of health and play at the quarterback position that really stammered him. They had some injuries last season too, but
well, I wouldn't normally pick 2 quarterbacks so early, but
no, that's not a bad move. We're far enough down in the draft. Don't talk that down. Yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about drafting him early. That was my second overall pick. That was
yeah,
9th overall pick in the draft.
Yeah, usually I grab 2 running backs off the bat, or a running back and a wide receiver.
It's not a bad move. Yeah, it's not a bad move either. So I'm going to go with some wide receiver depth, I think. I know where I'm going after that.
You already know right where you're going, don't you?
Yeah. So Tyler Lockett, that one I'm afraid of. So Drew Lock is the quarterback now in Seattle, and he doesn't have Russell Wilson thrown. Drew Lock, who was on the Broncos last year, he got traded.
That's a Missouri boy.
Yeah, he is a Missouri boy. I do root for him, but he's shown flashes of a gunslinger, Brett Favre type character, but that's bit him in the ass too a few times. Devin Mooney, a lot of speculation that he'll have a breakout season. Not to say that he didn't already have a strong one, but that I'm not sure about. I think I might go.
Houston lost all their firepower, didn't they?
And Thielen's still in. Houston, they traded away their quarterback. I'm going Thielen. But
Really?
Houston traded away their quarterback. That was Deshaun Watson. He's in Cleveland now. They drafted high a quarterback. I believe he actually may be tracking to start there this season. I'm going to go back because I'm still on the clock.
Man, I just don't want to pick anything Dallas.
I know, dude. I got Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm like, oh man.
Hey, so real quick, this is a stupid fucking complaint, but I'm just gonna have white people problems real quick.
Yeah.
I have never had so many deliveries to the house, whether it be Amazon, food, anything, complete opposite of what we ordered.
Oh, dude, it's been
it's bad
terrible
right now.
lately.
Yep.
I have not like that. We had Pizza Hut delivered today because having nostalgia Pizza Hut blockbuster shit.
Yeah.
And they brought us two of the most different things that they could have brought us, like complete opposite of what we ordered. I'm like, that's happened the last 6 deliveries
Damn.
that we've had from anywhere. It's not just that business. This place is fucking cursed.
Last time I got the wrong thing from Amazon, I called them up and they're like, just keep it and we'll send you what you're supposed to get. I'm like, okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't nothing expensive, but.
I hate ordering from fucking Amazon, man. I fucking hate it. But
It's almost a
sometimes
necessary
I have
evil.
to.
Yeah.
The
I have
Prime,
to.
man. The Prime is just so good. The 2-day shipping. That's what I'm
Yeah.
looking for.
My favorite thing was we paid for Prime and we were in Italy. And it would show up like 2 months later.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, yep, we got it, babe. It came in. You got to order it. You got to order your Christmas presents in July so that they'll
Fuck.
get there.
Jesus Christ.
But
They
hey,
had to
man,
clear
I'll take
customs
that.
and everything.
Yeah. Well, not only that,
They have a staunch customs
I'm
process.
doing it, boys.
buddy,
I took the goat.
it's not. Oh boy, I
Took
saw it
Brady.
coming. Somebody had to.
Did you?
Somebody had to.
I think he's going to have a strong year. I mean,
Well, I don't know. Did you see those new rumors with Giselle? Their marriage is in turmoil.
in
dude.
shambles. People
It's in shambles.
It's in
Yeah,
shambles.
I saw this thing. I
It's
saw
that
this
golden
thing where
dick.
she was pointing.
Got to her.
Yeah.
She was pointing in his face, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's a woman on fire." And we
Yeah.
can't have those women.
You know, I got some family drama myself. Doctor called, said sugar's high. I said she ain't been high. She been off the meth for 2 years.
Whoa, boy,
Yeah.
that's a meth dad joke.
I stole
That's
that
a
from
meth
that.
dad joke.
Yeah. I seriously laughed about that to myself for like a week. I don't think I've laughed at something that hard because it's just so this area, that
Oh,
joke.
it's perfect
Oh,
for
for
this
sure.
area, yeah.
And if you knew some of my family members, it'd be believable.
Fuck any of our family members. All of our family members came from either Iowa or surrounding states
Or under a
of
rock.
Missouri. Yeah, exactly. Or in Trump's basement.
No, that's Pizzagate. Pizzagate out there.
Yeah.
Heinz
Hey
Gate.
man, look for those kids other places. Also, what's going on with Matt Gaetz right now? Didn't he
Oh my
fuck a
God.
17-year-old?
Which
Don't
time?
And he's
get me
still-
started. Yeah, no shit.
Which time?
I know. And he's still in this fucking
Yeah.
what is happening?
I don't know. Trump train. Defend yourself right now.
Defend Matt Gaetz.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
defend Matt Gaetz.
Just why?
Also defend that blonde-haired fucking cunt you called Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
Whenever she just
Bobart,
performed
let's throw
a
her in there.
ritual, she just performed a ritual on somebody at CPAC. Like, what
I did
the
see
fuck
that,
are
dude.
you guys
They paid
doing,
an
you
actor
fucking
to get in a
creepy-
cage to look like a prison cell. And she
Yeah.
was like in there doing holy prayer on
Creepy.
top of him.
Creepy, bro. Your fucking party is creepy as shit.
It's culty.
Yeah.
You know what's
Skull
funny,
and
bud?
Bones esque, right?
Back whenever me, Barrett, Josh, Ridge, we're all hanging out, enjoying the good old
Finer things in
Farmington
life.
life. Whenever the Tea Party came out first,
Oh, God, yeah.
we went to one of their rallies and heard about 30 minutes away in Potosi, Missouri, there was a goddamn KKK rally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
make your decisions,
Shamefully.
buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I started that off a little comedically and lighthearted, but that went dark quick.
Hey, I'm all about it, man. Hey,
Yeah.
you guys invited me to this bullshit.
That's
true.
I didn't
Fair
ask to
point.
be a part of it. I actually literally stated, I don't know football anymore.
Mhm.
You about to learn again. You gonna learn
So
today.
don't you ever fucking tell me nothing.
Fair point. Don't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. I better be careful. I'll get flagged on here because I sound exactly like Kanye.
Oh, yeah. Identical. Yeah.
What gave it away? The mental health issues? You liked that one a little too much, didn't you?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it because I think it's so fucking hilarious. The Pete Davidson thing. And then Pete Davidson's like, I need a mental health retreat to get away. It's a fake newspaper that says you're dead.
Yeah.
And it's not even your name.
Oh my God.
Ridiculous.
Like, in my head, these are all rich people, and I'm going to talk shit about them all day, every fucking day.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Fellas, I believe this is the last round. I could be wrong.
It is.
Yeah, I think so.
I only have one bench left.
Yeah, it's you probably need to draft a kicker, which...
I already did.
Oh, okay. I didn't, so I'm probably about to get fucked on that. That's my
I got all my positions. I just need a bench.
Kickers, I will say this, if anybody's freaking out about whatever kicker they did or didn't pick up, there is always free agent kickers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you're going to have to get another one eventually anyways because your kicker's going to be on a bye week, so don't get too hung up on that. Fantasy football, if nobody's ever played it, they're listening to the show, giving this a chance. It's basically just an analytical game for a bunch of nerds at the end of the day.
And Zach specifically, if you don't watch sports, man.
I don't believe this is the same Zach that you think it is, Brandon, by the way. This is
no shit.
Josh's friend Zach from work.
What the fuck, Josh? Why are most of your friends on this shit?
I don't know.
It's
they all play
half,
fantasy football.
It's all
God damn it, you got Trump trained fucking Walmart worker.
They're all Walmart workers.
They all work at Walmart. I've been there. I was there too much.
Fuck the Walmart tribe.
It's basically the ATI tribe versus the Walmart tribe.
Yeah.
No, I just picture
agent.
I just picture all you motherfuckers like banding together whenever the apocalypse happens, and I have to fucking find a way to get past your Walmart, and you guys are out there. Josh is sucking somebody's dick while they're throwing a spear, and just like Channing Tatum from What the Fuck? This Is the End.
Yeah. That's a fantastic role. Fantastic. I've never cared about anything he's ever done, but that was golden.
All right.
Oh, shit.
So I'm going to go over the lineups and stuff whenever the draft closes, which is closing here momentarily. Things are moving quickly. Want to run over at least everybody's starting lineups to give everybody a little extra something to listen to that participated.
Yeah.
In particular, we'll talk about some of the teams and then we'll call it like we see it beyond that, as we usually do, as you know, to come and love the charm of the show. But back to Trump Train. In the meantime.
Oh yeah, back to Trump Train. Listen, guy. I heard his daddy used to tickle somebody's taint with that mustache. And then that mustache was delivered to Donald Trump's head in the form of a wig.
I want to fairly make this point before he perhaps jumps off the feed in the draft with us today. I know that he intentionally chose that icon and name to get at Josh. So there's an element of ribbing going on here.
Yeah.
To some degree. He probably did vote for Trump, but I don't know that he's necessarily a diehard Trump or a Trump surrogate to speak for the Trump party. But nonetheless,
I'm just purely just talking.
Oh,
we're going to treat you like you are.
Treat you like you are a cunt.
All right, boys, we're finishing up.
All right, might as well just fucking get another kicker just in case the boy's out.
I'm anxious to see my draft grade because I don't think it's very good.
They always try to add a little new wrinkle every year too, so that's why it's always.
It is way different than it used to be.
Well, adaptive draft rank. There's that. So
I'm just excited because
your team is now on the clock.
Both my quarterback and my running back.
Thanks for attending the NFL draft. Best of luck this season.
That was it. So the draft closes at 15 minutes. It gives us 15 minutes to actually review what's been done here. But it looks like we.
Yeah, I'll shut the fuck up. It's no big deal.
No, it's okay. I didn't mean to be rude and cut you off.
No, I'm joking, dude. No, I'm just pumped
But go
that
fuck
Green
yourself.
Bay's bye is so so much later on in the fucking season.
Yeah, that is good. So I had your team pulled up first to talk about Brandon, and we'll just go through at least everybody's starting lineups. Brandon has Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. He's got Joe Mixon at running back, Aaron Jones at running back of the Green Bay Packers also, Cooper Kupp at wide receiver, Keenan Allen at wide receiver. He's got Darren Waller, the tight end from now Las Vegas Raiders. He has Bateman, who is, by all accounts, supposed to have a good season this year as well in Baltimore. He's got Harrison Butker at kicker. Then he has the Bills defense, which is one of the best defenses in the league. So another good pick.
Was Butker, wasn't he the guy that fucking missed the kick at a crucial moment in time?
I mean, he has, but outside of that, he's definitely one of the most. Him and Justin Tucker are probably the two best kickers.
They've been in the league for like a long time.
Butker's been in for a little while, but not nearly as long as Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker's been in for like 20 years now, almost. At least 15, I know.
And that Green Bay kicker that used to be the fucking bee's knees.
Remember Greg Zuerlein?
Yeah,
Greg
Zuerlein. He is with Dallas now, I believe. He's either with Dallas or New England. I can't remember which. I think Nick Folk's in New England, so I think he's...
Oh, fun fact for anybody that's watching House of Dragons, the crazy guy, the soccer hooligan from the movie The Replacements is actually the Hightower guy that plays the right hand or the hand of the king in House of the Dragon.
Yeah, Race Ithens.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. He dropped off the map for a while.
Amazing Spider-Man, the first.
Yep, Lizard.
Yeah,
he was Lizard. So that was the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man of the only two that they did, and he played a Lizard in that. He was in Natural Selection, I believe. I know he was in a Charlie Kaufman movie. I want to say it was Natural Selection. That's excellent. Spike Jonze, Charlie Kaufman.
All I gotta say, man, is look at that fucking bad guy. The crab people.
Oh, I know.
The crab feeder,
Yeah, I think
I have to make something that looks like that.
The crab feeders are clearly this incarnation's version of the White Walkers.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. He's like I guess you would say the mythical protagonist, or you know what I mean?
Antagonist.
Or antagonist, not protagonist. The antagonist.
See, I took him as like the wildling type of group of people.
Well, you might not be wrong about that too.
As from what so I've been listening to a few podcasts, and from what I've heard is he's essentially like racist against Westeros people. Like anybody that's from Westeros.
Well, who isn't?
Well, you mean like I'm saying most of the people, not Westeros, but the Seven Kingdoms. Westeros is all of it, I guess. Right. But he's like specifically targeting people that are shipping from the Seven Kingdoms and stuff. So
hey, he's got my vote. Look how creepy he is.
Yeah, he was like crucifying people and feeding them to
Oh my god, crucifying people and crabs just eating their fucking toes and shit.
Yeah, it was
good. Go fuck yourself. If I was on a goddamn beach and there was that many crabs, I'm losing my fucking mind.
Speaking of which,
first of all, I'm getting out the biggest mallet and fucking bucket of butter that I've ever fucking.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, looking creepy. You guys saw the new Hellraiser pics today?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Pinhead.
God.
Yes.
The Pinhead chick.
Yeah, she looks crazy.
I think she identifies as transgender or something of that ilk, or non-binary, one of the two.
So Trump Train, you won't like that movie.
Definitely not. But what you might like about it is sadomasochism, because Trump's definitely into that, Russian P tapes, so on and so forth. So
yeah.
But
so
there's a lot of that going on. Have you guys seen the new Cenobite?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, is the chick.
Well, no, I said Cenobite. They also released a Cenobite.
Who's the new one?
Ooh,
I thought
it's the skin one. Yeah, let me pull that up here.
Yeah, please pull it up on the fucking screen, bro. I thought this was going to be much longer, so...
Yeah, let me do that here in a moment. Remind me. I want to finish up this draft order stuff before this closes out, because it's time sensitive. We can talk about the Hellraiser coming up ad nauseum. So Josh, I was going to you next.
Right on.
The W's. He got Jalen Hurts at quarterback, solid pick. I had him last year. Alvin Kamara.
Risky.
That's the risky one we were talking about earlier, and he might have some Ray Rice type shit going on, so he might be facing some sort of suspension, but he is one of the most, if not the most talented running backs in the league.
Right.
Ezekiel Elliott, I think he's actually going to have a strong year. This is the last year of his contract, I believe, so he's got to perform well if he wants to get a big contract.
He wants to make money, right.
So I know there was talk of him perhaps sitting out, but I know he's been at organized team activities. I just don't know if he's participating. Mike Evans, we talked about him already a little bit, with Julio coming in, and depending on if they've still got Goodwin there. Brandon Cooks, that's a good solid pick. He's definitely a number one wide receiver in Houston. And Dallas Goedert, he is a great tight end.
Yeah, he's a good target.
Philly.
Yep.
And in Philly, they got, AJ Brown, who I picked up. That was the big trade that they did this year. Just got a safety from the Saints, I believe. One of the better safeties in the league. as well. A lot of good moves there, and people are projecting Philly to be at least in the playoffs again, if not win their division. And then we've got Carter at running back, the Jets running back in the flex position for Josh. That's a strong flex position, especially if he's got both receptions and carrying yards and receiving yards, because we are
for
putting
the
an
check downs and
emphasis.
stuff.
Yeah. We're doing points per reception. We are a points per reception league, so that's a good pick there probably. And then we've got Shabert as the kicker from Detroit. I think he will have a lot of opportunities to kick this year, and then Buccaneers defense to start.
Not bad. Not bad.
Strong. Brown Sugar, Ridge got Jameis Winston as a starter.
And we do have to say, unfortunately, Rich had to auto draft a lot of this draft because he had some unseen circumstances come up at home.
That's true.
So.
And I forgot that he wasn't auto draft now that you mentioned that. Because we were talking to him as if he was drafting earlier, and then he piped up. So Winston, he is the starter. There's talk of him maybe not being there for that long as well. So we'll see. A lot of new things. Sean Payton retired, new coach there. So it'll be an interesting year in New Orleans. Who knows? Maybe they figure it out. Eckler, he's we mentioned him earlier. That's a good pick at running back. Fournette has been streaky with Tampa Bay. He'll go on runs where he'll have like a 2 or 3 touchdown game,
right?
And then he'll go 2 or 3 weeks, and then a 2 touchdown game.
Inconsistent.
Yeah, and it just really is whatever game plan they go with. Like Tom Brady was kind of a game manager last year, which is weird to say because he still had great stats. At the end of the season, he was still, in that MVP conversation. But there was games that Tom Brady didn't have a lot of attempts, and they just pounded the ball with Fournette. So Jamar Chase, I think he is the best receiver in the league, and he's young, and only expecting big things out of him. We got Lamb, CeeDee Lamb. He's definitely Dallas's number 1 wide receiver now. So that's a good pick, and that's in your second wide receiver slot. So that's good, strong wide receivers for Ridge. Kyle Pitts, good tight end. He's probably top 5. Mariota is the quarterback, I believe, starting in Atlanta. I don't know if they already announced him, but it's looking like Mariota. And we have got Mike Williams in the flex, wide receiver, top receiver there. And, it's between him and Keenan Allen. But Williams is starting to kind of take over that number 1. 1A and 1B, we'll put it that way. And then Ridge doesn't have a kicker, so we'll need to pick one of those up. But he does have the Saints defense. So let's take
that. Ain't bad for an auto draft.
That's a pretty good auto draft, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your mom's tight end. So we got Lamar Jackson. That's a good QB. He's coming back with a vengeance this year. Speaking of vengeance, have you seen how good their backup is, Huntley? He's basically built exactly like Lamar. He's just as fast, nearly. He actually played a few games from last year, but he's really good. Josh, you and I actually watched a game he was playing in.
Yeah.
I think it was against the Packers last year, but that was a good game. Taylor at running back from Indianapolis. I think he's the best running back in the league for fantasy, stats-wise. Montgomery in as well from Chicago. Devin Montgomery. There was, I believe, speculation about him getting traded before the season started, but still there. Devontae Adams, definitely a top 5 wide receiver, if not top 3, if not top 1. And actually recently on the NFL ranking list, I believe he was in the top 7 of overall players in the league. Michael Pittman, another good wide receiver in Indianapolis. Guess who's the quarterback in Indianapolis this year? Matt Ryan.
Really?
Matt Ryan got traded from the Falcons. Yeah. I believe they signed him to an extension, so he'll end up retiring as a Colt, excuse me.
So what's Carson Wentz going to do?
Carson Wentz is on the Commanders. Carson Wentz is the Commanders quarterback now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
When did that happen?
I got traded.
Okay. See, I'm like out of the loop with so much stuff. So this season's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know about that, but I will say the Commanders got a good young running back, and they got a good young wide receiver, which I almost picked up their receiver. He did well for me last year. But Kelsey at tight end to go down the lineup for your mom's tight end, and he is, by all accounts, largely the number 1 pick in anybody's fantasy football league at tight end. But guess who's at number 2, my guy? And then we've got Hollywood Brown in Arizona this year. He left Baltimore, and he's in Arizona. Arizona's kind of got a logjam at wide receiver. They got Hopkins, which he's serving a suspension this year. Hollywood Brown is there. I believe they have A.J. Green still there as well, the former Bengal. So they got a lot of wide receivers down there. And we got Mayer kicker, the Dallas kicker. He had a pretty strong year last year, I believe, if I recall correctly. And Colts on defense. Colts, they've got some solid defense. I'll be curious to see what they do. We're going to go move on down the league. Memphis Mad Dogs, this is Baby Jake Jackson's team, our wrestling correspondent. He got Kyler Murray at quarterback, strong pick. Nick Chubb at running back. I think he'll have a good year. Connor, and he'll have to carry a lot too with Deshaun Watson. I think has got a 6-game suspension. I don't know if we ever clarified that.
So they're going to use Chubb a lot.
Yeah, they're going to be using him a lot throwing the ball. And so we'll see how that shakes out. John Connor is former Steelers running back. He's in Arizona. He's been there for a few years now. He had a solid year last year. I think just 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards, that's something, but 1,000-yard season. Justin Jefferson, good receiver. We talked about him earlier. Stephon Diggs, great receiver. We got Andrews from Baltimore. He's definitely in the top 5 of tight ends in the league, if not top 3. And Deebo Samuel in the flex position. That's a good pick, and that's a good slot for him, actually.
Yeah.
So that's a great pick.
I wonder what he's questionable over.
He actually has got I believe it's a lingering quad issue.
I got you.
And then a part of that earlier, too, was the news that he was holding out, but that's been sorted out in recent weeks. So we got Bass as a kicker. That's a good kicker from Buffalo. He's a really good kicker. And Dolphins on defense, which they've been getting better and better.
Yeah, they're actually projected to be like one of the better defenses this season, I think.
Yeah. San Francisco's offensive coordinator is the Dolphins head coach now. The real young guy, I think he's like 34. And he was like quoting like Kanye, I think, at his press conference to announce himself, like lyrics.
Is that the thing that you want to quote? Is that the person?
I mean, as long as it's lyrics and it's before, it's Yeezus or before.
Right.
I think it's all fair game.
When it comes to graduation, I'm way down with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't remember exactly what the quote was, but yeah. All right. Moving on from Memphis Mad Dogs. Riley Reid option. This is Zach, right?
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, great quarterback, great young quarterback. Derrick Henry, another great pick. Jamal Williams in Denver. Or no, is it Jamal? He's a pretty good running back. Hill at wide receiver. So that's our old boy from Kansas City. He got traded. Tyreek. And a lot of eyes on him and what kind of season he's going to have, because he's been a very, top 1 or 2 fantasy receiver for some amount of time. Breakaway speed, big play. And in our league, that's going to play well for you because we got incentives for big plays in this league this year. So that's really important to be aware of too. So I like to say like a 50-yard catch, you get some bonus points. In our league, if you get a 50-yard catch for a touchdown, you get additional weighted points. So big play. So this is a strong team already. We got Devontae Smith at wide receiver, and that is a great second slot receiver. And we got Dallas Schultz at tight end, another solid tight end pick here. He's definitely in the top 10 in the league. We got Julio Jones, which I'm curious to see how his season goes. We already talked about him a few times. Justin Tucker, the best kicker in the league. Yeah. Right there. So that's a great pick. Broncos defense is nothing to bat an eye at. They're good. And, so that's the starting lineup. So Riley Reid options got a strong team. And last but not least, I'll jump to myself first because fuck the Trump train. He's going to take up the rear.
Yeah. Hey, by the way,
he's at the end of the human centipede.
Trump train's in my fucking division.
Bad. My team, I've got Josh Allen starting out. I've got Saquon Barkley. I've got Josh Jacobs at running back also. I have A.J. Brown at wide receiver. I've got Amari Cooper at wide receiver. I got George Kittle at tight end. I got Hunter Renfrow in my flex position. I've got Ryan Suckup at kicker. He's one of the more solid kickers at Tampa Bay. I'm playing with Brady. You figure he's going to get a lot of extra point opportunities, and anything that, obviously in the red zone, on fourth down, they're probably kicking a field goal. So Packers on defense. So Trump train coming in last, and at the end of the human centipede,
taking all the shit in the mouth.
Patrick Mahomes. Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah,
definitely good. Top 3 fantasy quarterbacks without question. And not to say that he had a bad year last year, but he probably didn't meet expectations, it's fair to say.
He's going to fucking destroy this year.
And I think he's going to obliterate. Yeah. I think he's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, often injured. That's his big deal, but he is
when he's
one
healthy,
of the most versatile players in the league, period, regardless of what side of the ball you play on.
Right.
So Christian McCaffrey could be kind of a deal maker or breaker on this roster in particular. Dalvin Cook, another person often injured, but another, again, as far as the talent when he's out there, top 5 running back in the league. He's got 2 top 5 running backs on his team in the league. So when they're on the field and healthy. We got T. Higgins, another great wide receiver. He's the slot 2 receiver in Cincinnati, but he is the slot 1 on his team. He's got Allen Robinson who previously played for the Bears, I think last. But Allen Robinson is second slot receiver. And Hawkinson, a tight end, another good young talent. And Najee Harris, that's my boy. That's the one I said earlier. I got eyes on Najee if you want to make a deal. But it looks like you got Mahomes. You probably don't need Dak Prescott. Koo is a very good kicker. He's a really interesting guy to follow. He had some interesting quotes last year, just kind of speaking out against stereotypes and stuff. He's an Asian player in the league. So Eagles. defense. So that's a solid defense. That's a good, solid defense there. And again, we have an incentive for defense in our league. So a lot of possibilities. You got a lot of athletic defense. Eagles just trade for good safety. Looking good. So that is the lineups, folks. And we're going to close the fantasy football discussion. Has anybody got any strong opinions? Anybody feeling good about their team out there? That they want to chime in before we close it out?
It's better than what I thought it was going to be.
I got a strong opinion about the fact that I'm gonna destroy Brown Sugar in the first fucking game.
Oh,
I'm gonna take
shots fired.
Take him out. I'm gonna fucking flambe his ass with a little torch.
Shots
I'm
fired,
gonna fucking set him on there, man.
Yeah.
Set him on there. Fire him up.
Well, me and you are going to do a little daddy on daddy action on week 1. Me and Barrett.
Yep, it's Josh and Barrett head to head.
Daddy on daddy. Well, I'm gonna grab another beer, and if you guys want to talk about this Hellraiser.
So there was 3 stills released today. Actually 4, I think, in Entertainment Weekly. 2 of them are human characters that don't really add context. It's just a shot in the scene. I don't think that they're worthwhile to report on, but we do get our first images of Jamie Clayton as Pinhead, and we're going to talk as to why that casting was made and who's involved in the production on the movie. And then we're also going to take a look at the Cenobite. So, all right, Brandon, we are about ready here to share the screen, and I am about to share what we have in store here, my friend. Click tab. All right, behold, in your glory.
Oh,
there's Pinhead,
yeah, that
of course.
bitch. Yeah,
we're not to the Cenobite yet. I just wanted to show the Pinhead to anybody that's watching live with us and stuck in.
Fucking awesome.
Which
Just
is Jamie Clayton. And you can see right here, she's got a medallion in the middle of her neck. And the neck seems to be bored out in nature, to put it roughly and truthfully. And kind of the iconic Pinhead pins in the head. But
that's awesome.
If you read any of the Clive Barker Boom Comics Hellraiser stuff that was like 2010 turnish, there was a depiction of a female Pinhead, and she looked almost exactly like this. So they're nailing that.
That's
awesome, dude.
Yeah,
that's literally nailing it.
I see what you did there.
I didn't do it. Bear did it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We need something like like a rim shot or something like that. If only we were that professional, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, it seems like it could be a rim shot around that medallion, but
rim job.
Yeah. Oh, same thing. Yeah. Hey, I do want to say that I've been running out of shit to fucking watch lately, so I've been trying to catch up on shit that horror shit that I haven't seen before.
How about this?
Terrifier is the shit.
Yeah.
Terrifier?
They're getting ready to put out Terrifier 2.
Number 2, because that's why I ended up watching this, because Bloody Disgusting fucking talked about it. But I watched Pumpkinhead for the first time.
Oh, that's a good one. I watched that when I was a kid.
And that is glorious.
Yeah.
And all of its goofy shit.
Yeah.
The one thing that they did right was the fucking monster. The monster was legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't really see this motherfucker. What's going on?
See this any better?
So
it's dark lighting, but it's a skin face stretched across a wire.
Yeah.
Or a steel cable. There's nothing in that face. It's void.
Fuck me.
Yeah. And then he's pulled apart and dissected. And it looks like it's almost like robotic or steel supports inside the arms.
It looks like fucking Chucky's face, like spilled all over the fucking.
It's unsettling, man. I think Collider did a lighter version of it. Let me see if I got Collider.
That's legit, dude.
Yeah, like they brought the lighting up so you could actually see it.
How's everybody feel about Halloween Ends?
I mean, I'm going to watch it. I'm excited. As good as the first one was, and as much as I didn't like the second one, I'm still going to give it a chance. So
I did like the second one, but it was just too much.
Yeah, I could go on about it forever, but and I'm not going to. So here we go.
Yeah, there's a
lighter
way
one.
better picture.
Oh yeah, look at that boy.
That bad boy.
That boy right there.
If you have not seen this yet, you got to go to a Google search. Go to Collider, I recommend, because the lighting's a little bit better, and pull up the article on Hellraiser reboot images. And I want to be clear that the director is not calling this a reboot. It's David Buckner. He did The Night House. He just did, what else did he do? He did The Ritual also.
Yep, great movie.
Yeah,
great movie.
He's getting some really good movies under his belt to this point, and he's been handed this franchise. But it's interesting enough, this is the movie that's going direct to Hulu. There's also a series being developed by, and this is why Brandon probably was bringing up the Halloween stuff, the new Halloween team. So David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, and all of those cats. Brandon's setting them up, and we're knocking them down.
All I gotta say is horror, horror, horror. Watch more fucking horror.
Yes. And so if you haven't seen this either, Winnie the
Jesus
Pooh
Christ.
slashes his
trailer
way
was
out of a
actually
public
wild.
domain in the first bloody trailer for Honey.
I did not watch
Blood
the
Honey.
trailer.
It's wild.
Didn't watch the trailer. But I will watch the trailer because you know the one thing, I'm such a fucking pussy. As soon as I saw a still shot of in the background it said rest in peace Eeyore, and it was like making fun of him in the background. I was like, God damn, poor Eeyore. I was
Yeah.
like, God damn, man. They had to kill fucking Eeyore. He would have been a great monster.
Right. So the Night House I mentioned earlier, David Buckner's directing, just to give a little bit more information on before we run off and leave it. Clive Barker, of course, originally created the content. Anybody who's seen the original iconic 1987 Hellraiser movie, it's amazing. And this is, David Buckner has said in many interviews, this is not a quote unquote reboot, or they're not trying to do the traditional, like I'm remaking the movie, the first movie. This is a total demolition of what your
Rebuild.
expectations. And
Right.
there's supposed to be more.
Yeah. Good.
There's supposed to be more married to the material because the original Pinhead was a character absence of sex or a sexual identity. So, and it was described more effeminate actually in the novels. So this is a more accurate depiction. That's why they hired on Jamie Clayton specifically to play Pinhead. And you may know Jamie Clayton from Sense8. She's in that Sense8 show with the Wachowski siblings. And so Sense8 is where she is from.
Well, and then not only that, we were talking about this, man. Yeah, so with that, we haven't seen anything from that new TV show that's coming out, right?
No, other than who's involved. So there's no images
Okay.
or castings revealed or anything like that. I do not believe.
Yeah, because it
any
keeps on
castings, that is.
switching up on me, and I'm like, fuck, man. Hopefully, I know that they tried to do a Hellraiser recently that was just, it fell off the map. It wasn't very good, but I mean, if you watch the first fucking film, it's got very great concepts, but it doesn't necessarily land on the acting or
Right.
anything like that. So just stick with it. Fucking watch shit like this because we need more shit like this in our because we all like the artisanal films and stuff like that,
Oh yeah, for sure.
horror wise. But this is like straight horror, I would imagine. I was gonna bring up to you guys. Have you guys watched Resurrection?
Mm-mm.
Resurrection, I have not watched yet, but is it not? I'm trying to remember who the director of that is.
Tim Roth
Yeah,
and our girl from the
Rebecca Hall.
Yeah,
from the
she's
Night
fucking
House.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
She's phenomenal. Night House was amazing. I'm telling you guys right now, Resurrection was
Really good.
legit.
yeah, it's an IFC Films. I think I sent you guys the trailer on that, but that's one that I definitely wanted to watch. Director was Andrew Salmons on that one. But the concept of it is, if you haven't seen the trailers, first and foremost, let me stop right here. Go watch the trailer. I will not be able to describe it justice, but it's a woman who has had some sort of volatile relationship with a man, is the illusions that you're getting. And this man is haunting her, and it's in her everyday walk of life. A man who, by all accounts, should be dead or gone. And he is appearing to her in random settings throughout life. And it seems from everybody else's perspective that she's slipping into some sort of psychosis. And the trailer makes it look very subjective. And she's got a young daughter that she's protecting in the midst of all this as well. And it's perceived to at least be in the trailer that the daughter is the daughter of this man in this relationship that she had previously too. So looks real chilling, real haunting. It's a wild concept of a movie.
It is, and it is.
So
All the above.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that.
You guys asked me about Nope as well. The last time that we were on there.
Have
Yeah.
you watched it?
So he's watched it now.
So whenever I was a little kid, I watched Fire in the Sky with my parents. I was like, I can fucking hang. I can fucking hang. No big deal. I fucking hang. It's just fucking aliens. We watch X-Files. No big deal. I had to sleep. My room at that time was in the basement. I was like, I'm by myself. I can jerk off on my waterbed. No big deal. Right? After I watched that film, Fire in the Sky, I was now sleeping on the first floor. Because fuck that. This Nope made me feel like that again.
It brought it all back.
Literally, the first half of the film terrified the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Especially those little kids with those fucking masks. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it so much. I was like, get me the fuck out of this theater.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of this whatsoever, man.
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Yeah, it was so good.
The jump scare type stuff. Yeah. Jump scare, at first was kind of hitting the nail on the head. They were building that tension. They weren't revealing everything.
Right.
It was real sus, to start with. But then the big iconic image that stood out to me is when they were looking up over the hillside and they could see that the cloud wasn't moving.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was standing still.
And just it was weird to, like, I noticed it right away because I think Josh was sitting right next to me. I think I was sitting in the middle between Josh and Ridge Baby.
Yeah.
But I know I leaned over to one of you, if not both of you, and was like, dude, this fucking cloud business is wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like one of the most iconic scenes in that whole movie too was like when it was raining, but it was really just the UFO discharging all the blood, guts, and metals and stuff.
Oh my God.
And the lightning illuminates it in the background. It's over the house and stuff.
Now we're talking about it more in a spoil-filled act.
Yeah, disclaimer.
Yeah, rather than last time whenever we talked about it, wasn't very spoily.
Spoilers.
So,
I feel like it's been out long enough now, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's on demand and stuff now, so people should be able to check it out.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you're a terrible person.
Like I have a 2-year-old that's a fucking psychopath. He just fucking spills shit everywhere.
He loved it.
He literally cried to me today for 3 hours talking about popsicles. Like I still went out and saw the fucking movie, so your fucking broke ass needs to go out and see it too.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, you know that there's a lot of theater chains in America doing $3 movie tickets on Saturday.
Yep.
It's a National Theater Day.
That's cool.
So check your local listings. You might be able to catch something. I still haven't seen Thor, so maybe I can go see Thor for $3.
There you go.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm surprised that Disney Plus hasn't brought that out yet, but
they on Disney Plus's landing page, they say it's coming, but they don't give a date. I think they reported one at one point.
It's really good.
I've heard mixed things.
It's good. It's just I wish they would have delved so much more into Gore's shit. They should have made this movie about Gore, not make fucking Thor seem like a dumbass. They already got a dumbass.
Yeah,
which is fucking Hulk. Until you watch She-Hulk, which is also fantastic.
I do enjoy
it.
To delve into that yet.
Disney, do me a favor. Stay out of the fucking movie theater. Just make TV shows.
I'm down with that, dude. Just keep adding stuff to streaming services.
We don't need this shit, bro.
The movie theater is a dying breed.
I see Gamers Radar is the only place I'm seeing explicitly listed date for Thor: Love and Thunder. It looks like September 8th, so next Thursday, 1 week from tonight.
Oh, wow.
It might be on Disney Plus.
So you might wait anyway on that then and see something else.
$3 to see it actually in the theater.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to do a segment on House of the Dragon. I mean, we don't have to do it tonight, but
It just got picked up for a second season like a week ago.
Immediately after the first premiere. Yeah. Because it was the highest debut of any streaming show.
It has
ever.
a lot of potential. It really brought me back to the first season, man, of Game of Thrones.
I'll put it to you this way. Whenever I first saw the first episode, I was like, I'm on board no matter what.
Right.
My buddies were up in arms about it. They were like, I don't know. After I watched the second episode, I asked them, and they were like, no, yes, we have to be a part of this.
Yeah,
right.
Like the second one for sure. Like
the drama gets.
It was.
Oh my god!
It was classic Game of Thrones setup episode, and it set up so much good potential that I'm so excited for the next episode.
I don't know if you guys saw the teaser for the next episode.
Well, me and Barrett were talking about this. You got to be careful on social media because sometimes people will post stuff, but HBO themselves posted on Instagram stills of Sunday's episode. And let me warn you, before you guys go and look for these, they will probably ruin some stuff for you coming up Sunday. I will not repeat it because I don't want to ruin anybody's stuff.
Yeah.
But just be careful what you're
watched,
looking at on the internet.
I watched some of it. I also think it's misleading. A lot of these...
I do too. I think they try to plant something in your head to make you think one way and then do something completely different.
They've gotten past that, and HBO's smart enough to fucking... But at the same time, they could fuck it up too. I mean...
Right,
TV
new writers, so we'll see.
Right.
But, man, I watched interviews with these new guys. They seem legit, man. They seem like they're like, we're taking in the darkness.
Well...
You know, one of them's already leaving.
Really?
Yeah, one of the co-showrunners already leaving after the first season. And Alan, I think it's Alan Taylor, one of the original Game of Thrones showrunners, coming back to take his place.
Okay.
Motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
I just
he's I believe he's a Latino or a Latinx guy that's leaving the show. I cannot recall his name. He wasn't a showrunner on the previous Game of Thrones. He's specifically for House of Dragons.
In the interview, I know exactly who you're talking about. In the interview, I was like, man, this guy fucking gets it.
Was that the guy that was saying when they asked him if there was an ending already? He said, yes, that was one of the first things that we wanted to do before we even started filming was make sure we had an ending.
Yeah.
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah, and they're adding some intrigue and changing some timelines from the book.
It's good story writing 101.
Right.
Know where your story's going. What is the ultimate goal? Let's build to that.
Right. Let's not figure out what happens.
You don't put a fucking shot in the dark, you know? Like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And HBO isn't going to fuck around, too. They got a lot of money involved in this.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure.
That's always to be considered.
Yeah, I mean, they got 9 more fucking dragons to show off, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I think something crazy like that.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, I thought that this episode 2, to get back to what's actually happening in the show, I thought the most badass thing is whenever the princess rolled in on that dragon to stop
bursting out of the clouds.
Yeah, bursting out of the clouds. Because I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because I thought for a second, because they teased the dragon coming down on the mountainside, Damon's dragon. And I thought that
I think there's some symbolism there, though.
Yeah, there is. There definitely is.
Yeah, because he's like crawling down the mountain all evil-like and shit.
Right.
And all of a sudden it gets quiet and that dragon looks off into the clouds. And all of a sudden you see the clouds move and then boom, she bursts out of the clouds on a golden dragon.
I might have looked away for a second, but I thought that was Damon's dragon in the clouds that went through. And then when it popped up, it was her. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You know, like that genuinely shocked me.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was like pumped.
The thing that's mind-blowing to me is that we've gone so far back in time on the show, right? But her father still brings her down to the temple area in the basement.
The dragon pits,
right.
Yeah.
And there's the biggest dragon's head. I'm like, so he doesn't even exist at this point.
Right.
Right.
So holy shit.
That's like 7 generations.
I think the last time, well, it wasn't the last time you've seen it, but one of the most iconic scenes from Game of Thrones is when Ned Stark's like, after he was arrested, he's like in the basement, chained up next to that giant dragon head. You know what I'm talking about? When Varys was talking to him.
Well, and you have Jaime Lannister down there meeting up with Tyrion, like sneaking in. I mean, I just rewatched the whole fucking series 2 times. So everything except for the last season. I just don't want to.
Oh, why would you?
There was...
I mean, my only thing is I love the Hound so much.
Oh, he was probably one of my most beloved characters.
He's one of the few characters
season.
short of Jaime that had the biggest character arc.
Brienne of Tarth, really? She's up there for you?
Me? Hound and Brienne of Tarth.
Well, Jaime Lannister. Jaime Lannister has to be mentioned.
Oh, for sure.
He had one of the biggest character changes.
Oh, yeah.
He was my most hated person.
Right.
And he became my almost beloved.
It was so crazy how the writers made you hate that motherfucker in the first 3 seasons and then flip, and then you were so in love with him at the end.
And it wasn't drastic. It was subtle and gradual.
Well, I think he changed. Yeah. He developed as a character.
Right.
And you,
without question.
To me, it was much like the story of Willow with Val Kilmer.
Willow Smith?
It's just a fucking...
When she was whipping her hair back and forth?
Have you ever seen Willow, Josh?
No.
Oh my God, you got to watch it, man.
Is that the puppet one?
No. It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not a puppet one. I was agreeing with Barrett.
Oh,
goddammit.
My bad.
No, you need to watch Willow.
What's Willow?
Because Willow's coming back on Disney
as a TV
and it's
series.
going to be a TV series.
Oh, I'm interested. I'm trying to remember what it is.
Yeah, 1988. I'm going to pull it up for Josh here in case you didn't know. Warwick
Oh,
Davis, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, okay. It was like a fantasy type
Yes.
thing. I do remember this. Warwick Davis, yeah. Okay.
George Lucas, Ron Howard
Directed it.
One of his first movies he directed. I knew George Lucas was involved too.
Wow, me being a Lucasfilm buff, I'm surprised I haven't seen Willow. I do know what it is, but I have not seen it.
He must be doing some construction over at Brandon's fucking chiseling away at the Mona Lisa or some fucking shit. What the hell is that? Good loud. Yeah. House of Dragons. And how about that brutal massacre in the streets by Damon with the City Watch?
Yeah. You see where they cut that rapist's nuts off?
Yeah. Just, he's a rapist.
So I was listening to the House of the Dragon podcast, and one of the co-hosts of the show got to see a screening of the first episode in LA because they've done the Game of Thrones podcast too. So he's pretty popular. So they invited him out to see it before it aired. And he said it was so funny because in that scene where they took that guy's testicles off, there was actually like a very loud like fart sound at the same time when they cut the guy's nuts off. And he was like, wait a minute, did that just happen? He's like, did I just hear that? And he said, my friend that was with me is like, oh yeah, you totally heard that. And he's like, so the whole time I was watching the first episode, I was waiting for that scene to hear if they, and he said, no, they took it out. So the audio guys must have cut it and realized that it wasn't. So in the original cut,
somebody got scared and they clenched their cheeks.
Yeah, he said there was a very loud audible fart whenever they cut the dude's nuts off. So he couldn't tell if it was like audio or if it was in the theater.
That's awesome. Yeah, I downloaded that podcast, so
it's fantastic. Yeah, you should give him a shot.
Start listening.
New Lord of the Rings,
Outer Range.
Oh my God, new Lord of the Rings came out today. 2 episodes.
You know, Peter Jackson got butthurt because he was not
asked to be
involved
a part of it. Yeah,
whatsoever,
I read that.
And not due to his own doings, that is. But
right.
I've seen some mixed stuff about it.
September 1st, 2022, baby.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
Wow.
Yeah, they upped the date. It was supposed to be on the 2nd, but then they also said that they're releasing 2 episodes instead of 1. God damn it. I was on this bullshit podcast and not watching that.
Yeah. Let's get off here and go watch it real quick.
All right, listen.
But Lord of the Rings, I'm not really familiar with like who's all involved with the show. I think this is a lot of as far as production companies. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw this fucking stupid ass post by IGN. Jeff Bezos' son says,
"Oh,
you better not fuck this up, Dad." And the whole time in my head, I'm like, first of all, Jeff Bezos has nothing to do with this. He's not overseeing it.
Right.
He's not doing anything like that. He's jerking off to fucking dead babies up in the sky. All right? Jeff Bezos is a little fucking creepy cunt character that fucking just like little, and your son, you better be a mama's boy because your mom is cool. Your dad is a fucking piece of shit.
And we're assuming this is the son of his recently divorced wife, right?
I'm assuming so, yeah.
Yeah. Man's been married like 3 times now, I think.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up.
Like, wow, what a fucking piece of shit.
But yeah, so Lord of the Rings is with Amazon, and it is coincidentally, it's up now, so evidently. So we'll have to check that out. I wanted to talk about Outer Range. Have you guys watched that yet?
No.
So concept is set on a Wyoming ranch. Josh Brolin is the head of a ranch family who has a mysterious wander onto his property. Imogen Poots, easy on the eyes, comes up on his property. And there's a guy that was in Armageddon. I can't think of what else he was in right off the top of my head. Plays kind of this rival ranch next to theirs. And his sons are all fucking entitled. No. But that would be hilarious.
That would be the greatest, dude.
I wish, dude. Just to see Steve Buscemi.
Did your cattle come over here on my ranch, motherfucker?
I love Boardwalk Empire, but it's still all ultra hilarious because it's Steve Buscemi the whole time.
Oh, my God.
He does a really good job, though, because he really takes you into that character.
He is great. Like, just as the minute that you want to love Nucky Thompson, you fucking realize he is a gigantic piece of shit that doesn't care about anybody except for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to season 4.
Oh, it's good.
I think season 4 is the worst. 5 does an attempt to wrap it all up. The 5 has its moments.
The first 3 are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever me and Liz watch something, she's gotten such a keen eye for it that she's like, you don't want to watch this bullshit anymore? I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch it. I want to remember it for the first 3 seasons, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, back on the She-Hulk discussion, that chick who plays her, Tatiana, I can't remember her name, but she was in Orphan Black, and we watched the first season of Orphan Black, and I just fell off of it out of nowhere.
I watched the first 3 seasons. Or the first 2, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what happens after the first.
I love Orphan Black.
It was good.
I mean, it's so good.
I guess that was a Canadian TV show. I didn't realize that. But yeah, it's BBC America is what it aired on.
Oh, okay.
They had a couple different shows.
We were watching a lot of BBC last year, or whenever we were not last year. Whenever you and me were living together.
And there is 5 overall seasons. And yeah, there's so many shows out there, so much to offer. You know, we've hit it on the previous shows. We hit it on this one. Definitely out of range to get back on that. It's definitely worth checking out just to finish out the premise on that. These ranch hands, mysteriously, this wormhole shows up in the middle of their property, and they're in the middle of a property dispute. And it just happens to fall in the fault line of the property dispute. And there's some like weird time travel stuff going on. I'm only halfway through it so far. And it's hard to figure out like where you're at in the timeline of things.
Well, it's just Josh Brolin in general. He's a fucking
he acts circles around everybody.
And he's a person, like a real person that actually talks to people about real life shit. Minus suntanning his asshole.
Yeah, he's bleaching his asshole shit. Yeah.
He suntanned his asshole because Gwyneth Paltrow told him to do it.
Yeah.
But he's also... Let's be fair. This man was an addict before. He was an alcoholic, and he was a fucking huge drug user.
James Brolin's son. He's been a child actor. Yeah, he was in the Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
So all the way back then, if you can remember that.
And then his worst performance was that big purple alien. No, it wasn't a bad performance.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big of a deal. It's just,
Thanos.
You know, I mean, the man's face. Look at him. I'd fuck his mouth.
Why not? I mean, his chin looked like a ball sack, though, as Thanos.
I mean,
so you'd smash your balls into your balls. Speaking of balls, let's get back on the ballless Trump train.
Yeah.
Speaking
of which, Barrett, you sent us real quick. You sent us a Crocs, like a dude wearing Crocs.
That was
with
Josh.
The American flag.
Yeah. It had the little croc ornaments with the nut sacks on the back.
I'm trying to go to Korea, man, because I can't take this shit anymore. I'm willing to go closer to North Korea just to make sure I don't have to deal with this shit anymore.
So that's Southern Korea, of course, not North Korea.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm going straight to North Korea.
Yeah,
I'm going to North Korea, trying to work for their military.
You and Dennis Rodman are going over there together.
I bet you would do.
I do.
I'm already skinny, but wait until you see after my diet there. All right, Josh, what's your name on the fantasy football before we get off here?
The W's. The W's. Yep.
You got the eagle?
Oh, yeah.
With the little... Yeah.
Fly,
all right,
Eagles, fly.
Speaking of next Thursday, we are going to be live with Slide while the game's going on, so we might have the game running in the background.
Oh, yeah.
while we're casting with those cats. Next week is Slide, and then after that, we will have Joey Rackovan. So we're going to be promoting Slide so you guys can hear Slide's music.
Sweet. I'm down.
Good spacey rock type stuff. So people check them out in advance. They're from Philly. And I mentioned this last week, but they just got filmed by Hate56, which is a huge social media account that promotes bands. Alrighty, sir. I think that wraps it. We did it.
Say Escuela Grind on Hate56. Fucking rocks, man. Like, fucking tear that shit up. That girl singer is legit. It burns my soul. I love you guys.
Yeah, she's good. Absolutely. And don't forget to check out Mr. Tom Tickle's shop, who's in our hyperlinks, Nodnarb the Unpleasant.
You can find all the links on the socials.
Edaw's Emperious Emporium, but mostly, hail the fucking Dark Lord, baby.
I am Barry Insane on Instagram and Twitter as usual. Josh, you can find him on Instagram. He's _Josh Welch. For this week, we're out of time. Good night and good luck.
Stay safe out there.
This is Barrett from the ATI Podcast. Each week, Josh and I discuss current events, pop culture, music, TV, movies, politics, sports. Nothing is out of bounds. You can also tune in to learn about rising artists, small businesses. Whether it's music, graphic design, filmmaking, or even a brick-and-mortar mom-and-pop shop, we will be spotlighting folks and their endeavors. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Anchor, or anywhere you enjoy your podcasts. Just search ATI Podcast. We would like to thank you for your continued support, and as always, please stay safe out there.
Hey, this is Josh from ATI Podcast. For show updates and news about the podcast, follow us on social media. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ATI Podcast 22, on Twitter at podcast_ATI, on Instagram at the ATI Podcast, on TikTok at ATI Podcast. DMs are always welcome. Have a question for the show? You can always email us at atipodcastquestions@gmail.com. Stay safe out there.